All right, family. Now that y'all watched that montage, we'll call it, that turned into pretty much a camping trip, an on-site Simpson camping trip. I brought in the cot, I brought in the blanket, I brought in the ice chest, and by that time I had on my pajamas, and I started watching television, and I actually stayed out here until about 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, I had to go to the restroom, Mother Nature called, so I decided to go in and check on Fitzgerald to make sure he was okay, that he had access to the outside, and I wound up staying inside. But I pretty much spent half the night out here camping. Call me crazy if you want to. That's how my brain works. I do what I want to. I do what makes me happy. And that made me happy. All right, family. Now, back to our originally scheduled programming. All right. A couple of things that I wanted to do to upgrade the hog pen, and I think this one is the most important. In the past, well, when it rains, I was digging this out. I had concrete pavers all the way through here, and I was going to dig these out and do something different, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I got this far, I stopped, and now I have this indention, and every time it rains, there's water there. So I got to try to tread through this water in order to get to the shed. So what I'm planning on doing is taking some of these 4x4s, perhaps, or some scrap metal or whatever I can find, and I'm going to make basically a deck walkway out of this material. We're going to put sawed off 4x4s going from this post to that door, and from this post to that post, and we're going to make ourselves a walkway out of decking material. That's project number one. So then I'll have access to the shed and to the hog pen if it's raining, or if it has been raining, without treading through gallons of water. All right, the next project that I want to work on is probably going to be this winter. I think I told y'all in a previous video where this table, my fishing table, one of my pride and joys, one of the first things that we purchased for the channel, has started to deteriorate due to these hot freaking summers that we've had. And you can see right here where it's all cracked out. It's cracked out here. So one of the next projects we want to do is I want to have my friend, Mr. Myron, the guy who's been doing my woodwork, who is an excellent carpenter. I want him to make me a table. Perhaps I can pull it off, but I think it'd be best if I let Myron do it. And I wanted to build basically an outside bar that's weatherproof or somewhat weatherproof that we can put right here that also has storage underneath for my Big Easies, for my gas tanks, for all my stuff. So we're going to run that perhaps about the same distance as these two tables, from that post to that post or up to that cabinet, and we'll have it about the same height as those tables, which is about 40 inches, but it'll have storage at the bottom to keep my stuff from getting all weathered. All right. The next project that I want to work on, and this is probably going to require me to drop in a little bit of B-roll here, or at least some Amazon footage. They have the umbrellas that go over top. Now, Amazon sells them. My only concern about those large umbrellas, those yard umbrellas that Amazon sells, is the support. The arms or the stanchions, you probably have to put something heavy on the bottom. But if you ever have an unexpected wind, you're probably gonna have to take those down on a daily basis. I wanted to go with something a little more permanent than that. I'm gonna drop some footage in right here of our local gym and playground for the kids here in Westlake. And they put up these huge, elaborate, and I'm sure everybody has them at their parks, these huge, elaborate umbrellas that are on like 4-inch, 6-inch pipes, and they're concreted in the ground for 3, 4, 5 feet. I actually want to go with something rather permanent of that nature. And I know that's going to be rather costly, but I really wanted something here that I don't have to manage. That every time I finish barbecuing or whatever, I got to take it down, find somewhere to store it. I wanted something that's going to be up a little more permanent than that. So that's my concern. So I'm going to give myself 3 or 4 months to try to figure out what to do, price it, see can we have somebody weld it, the post. I actually have a pole up next to the house. Y'all hang on. All right, right here, fam. When I used to citizen band radio, that's what we call a dead man. That was actually the pole that pulled my antenna up and down. I had one of these right here. It's called a Ron tower, and it was about 50 feet in the air, and it was on on legs that broke over, and I could let that up and down so I could work on my antenna. Well, since I no longer CB, or at the moment I don't, I'm thinking about cutting this down, and that would probably use about 10 feet of that, put one of those umbrellas on top, and that would probably be the perfect thing to hold that umbrella. I already own it. I simply have to cut it down, get it down, bury it in the ground, concrete it, and put the umbrella on top. But I just got to find an umbrella that will fit it, or find out how to modify it to fit that pole. So that is my solution for that. All right, fam. The next project that I want to do, which this may wind up being the first project. It's the simplest, easiest, and I want to put this thing to use as a fire pit, as a barbecue pit here very, very soon. I'm thinking about trying to use that black paint that I used to paint the Big Easy. I'm thinking about taking that. I still got about half of that can of paint left. I'm thinking about painting the inside of this thing black. It's heat resistant up to, I think it was what, 500, 600, 700 degrees. It may help keep this concrete from cracking on high heat. And I'm thinking about painting the inside and outside. And I just think it'll look better if it was painted black. I haven't quite made up my mind completely on that one yet, but I believe that's going to be a project, and I believe that's going to be my first project. While I'm painting, I really would like to empty this cabinet, paint it with something that's kind of weatherproof, or perhaps build some type of wooden one. I have my buddy Myron build me a table, also build me like a little cover for this thing, because I really like it. It's been a part of my life for probably the last 10 or 12 years. It served me well, and and think about it, fam. That's my liquor cabinet. I keep my alcohol up here. It's right there in the corner. I got other things up here as well right now. But that's my liquor cabinet. I can't just leave that unattended. So I'm thinking about painting that as well. So fam, let me turn y'all around so y'all can see this pretty face. So fam, those are some of the upgrades that I'm thinking about doing to the hog pen. So it's about time for our season here in the hog pen. It's starting to cool off just a little bit here in Louisiana. By the way, if I haven't shown y'all this in a previous video, I told y'all I was going to drop some random footage here from time to time and show y'all some things that if I find a weird vehicle on the road or something weird happens or I find out a weird fact, I'm just going to drop it in one of the videos. So it'll give y'all something to look forward to if I'm somewhat boring that day. All right, so I want to drop in some footage right here of Lady Red's car. If I haven't already done it in a previous video, if I have, you get to see it again, of what the heat has done to her freaking car. It's amazing. That car has been outside for years, but this year's heat has taken its toll. We have to get that repaired, and we're thinking about selling that car. We don't hurry up and build like some type of outside structure to house the car and to house our RV, because we definitely don't want anything drastic of that nature to happen to the RV. All right, family, that's been a quick update on what I'm planning on doing to the hog pen. I don't know what I'm going to call this video. Oh, one other thing before we go. I used to do, I think it was questions from the hog pen about the first or so of every month, the first Monday or so of the month. I want to start that back up, but we're not going to call it questions from the hog pen. We're going to call it conversations from the hog pen. Because oftentimes I don't get a lot of questions because I try to explain myself in detail when I'm cooking something or when I'm reviewing something. Hopefully that's the reason I don't get a lot of questions. Maybe just people don't want to talk to me. But anyway, so we're going to call it Conversations from the Hog Pen. I'll probably even change the name of it in the, what do they call that? In the things on YouTube there where you put all your stuff at, I'll think of it in a minute. I'll put it here on the screen. But, so I'll call it Conversations from the Hog Pen, and we're going to start that back up. All right, family. I hope y'all enjoyed this brief video. I really hope y'all enjoyed looking at what me installing the air conditioner in, what was project number 1 here in the hog pen in the shed, turned into a full-blown half a night camping trip. But that's how I think. That's how I work. That's what makes me happy. Anything that gets my endorphins going, I think I'm going to do it. All right, family. Y'all take care, and I will catch y'all in the next video. It's your boy, Rosie. Peace.